The number of times I have googled this the whole of last year and a little bit of 2022, it's insane to me. Hey, but here we are. How I spent the last day of the year and the first day of a new year is extremely important to me. People tend to make a big deal about New Year's and New Year's Eve. And there were times that I tried fitting in, I did something that I wasn't really into, and believe me, I've always regretted it. So today I'm going to tell you guys how I ended my 2023 strategically in order to have an amazing 2024. And it's almost been 59 days. Pretty great.
I'm gonna tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I miss you.
And also a quick little disclaimer, I am not a religious person, but I'm spiritual. So the divine power that I believe in, I call it the universe. For you, it can be God, it can be your higher self, or anything you choose to call the divine intervention that you believe in, and it's completely okay. But I'm going to be addressing to that as the universe. So try and pick what you want and drop what you don't want or don't believe in. Guys, when I tell you a phase lasted almost 13 months, it's crazy. I would Google every now and then, I would Google, what is a phase? How long does it last? Because we always hear people talk about this. This is just a honeymoon phase. Oh, this is just a phase that you're going through. He's going through the phase right now and it's going to get over soon. So I assumed that the phase that I was going through was probably not going to last for more than a couple of months. Actually, a couple of months also was a little bit too much for me. I would say a couple of weeks. So in 2022, by the end of 2022, I think in October, I hit rock bottom, and it was the rockiest bottoms of all. But it was not really that rocky right away. It kept getting worse over time. And then by 2023, I told myself, oh yeah, this is, it's gonna be fine this year. And then it was 2023 October that things slightly started getting better. And when I say rock bottom, I mean people leaving. I had no job opportunities whatsoever. And there was such a bad financial crisis that I was not able to afford food. And it was so rocky. I just hit the rockiest of rock bottoms, and it's super exhausting even to think about it. And while I was scripting this video, it kind of just took me back. My mind had to relive the last year, and I was amazed and so grateful for what my life is right now. But it's been a very, very rocky year, you guys. In 2023, in almost the middle of 2023, I think it was June or July, by the end of July, it got so bad. I was basically living in another city. I traveled for work, and I was pursuing theater there, and I was by now, kind of doing movies and ads, and I was almost there. And I was like, oh yeah, this is just a rocky phase. I just need the push. I just need a little more time and it's all gonna work out. And the timing of it all was so, I don't know. I considered to be sucking at what I did, and I felt like a loser. And then I convinced myself that, okay, you know what, let me just move back and let me get a job and put everything on hold and see how it goes. And I would go interview for these 9-to-5 jobs that I have a lot of experience in, and I didn't get through any. Like I said, it really felt like the universe was just conspiring against me. Now, if I think about it, it all worked out for the best, but it was so devastating at that point, and I'd just given up. So now this is August, I come back home and I'm just kind of trying to get things going here, or I think I was just taking time to settle in. And Funnily, I was doing nothing. I was just wandering about for like 2 months or so, like trying to figure out what's going on, what the hell happened, how am I going to proceed, what's going to happen. And one day, I was cleaning my room and I was actually watching another YouTube video. And after that video was over, I think it was on autoplay, and the next episode or the next video that played was a podcast with Ali Abdal and Roxy Nafouzi. And it didn't really grab my attention for the first few minutes, but when she said, I'm 27 and that's when I started, this was terrible, I was at rock bottom, I was like, interesting. So I listened to that episode, I completed, and then I started my digging. I basically dug and dug and dug. I purchased her book Manifest, and at this point, let me remind you, I was so desperate. I was desperate to do anything just to get out of this rut that I was in. And I was like, yeah, okay, let me just see. I've read so many books. Let's see if this is gonna work. And I got this book, and I still remember I purchased this book and I basically put it on my table and it laid there for about a week. And a week later, I picked the book up and I thought, yeah, let me just read a page or two. Let me see what this is about. And I think I finished the book in about 4 or 5 hours. Like, I just couldn't put the book down. It was so intriguing. It was so interesting. And it almost felt like she was speaking to me. And I'd never really resonated with something that much. And that's when I knew it's different this time. Like, this is different. I still remember putting that book down and taking a pen and writing my thoughts down. I was basically trying to write down all the things that I feel crappy about. And I was like, yeah, this is gotta go. This is gotta go. This is changing. 2023 is the last year that I am going to feel this helpless and useless to myself and to people around me. And that was that. And it's been about 4 months in the journey now, and it's incredible how magical it feels, yet there's logic to it. And I'm here to share that logic with you guys. So there are 5 things that I did, and I'm sure that's going to speak to you, or just keep watching to find out. Ooh, and for those of you who think, this is manifestation, some woo-woo crap, no, manifestation is science-backed. And if it was woo-woo, I wouldn't have believed it in the first place. Or maybe I would have, but
it was at this moment he knew.
Number 1, the first thing I did was surrender. I was in acceptance of everything that happened, and I basically surrendered. So what does surrender really mean? Well, victim mentality out and a more empowered, resilient, responsible, badass bitch mentality in. I can never pull that off, can I? Actually, I can. Let me try that again. Badass bitch in. Ooh, it was better. Yeah, easier said than done. What do you mean victim mentality out? Well, throwing away your victim mentality is not about, oh yeah, I'm never going to feel sad and sorry for myself. No. I cried, I complained, I regretted, I resented, I basically hated myself for a brief moment, and I was done with all that. I let it all out, and then I started to think about, okay, it's happened. Because let me make one thing clear here. When you hit rock bottom, more often than not, it's because of your own doing or undoing. And at least that's what I would say my story was. So of course there was a lot of resentment, and there was a lot of worrying and regrets and all of these low vibe emotions. Like, I just couldn't take it anymore. So I had to like get it all out. And once I knew, yeah, this was over, my immediate next step was to think about, okay, what next? So I had this powerful book in my hand that basically talks about changing your situation, like changing your reality, creating your own reality with just your brain, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? Now that I have this tool, how am I going to put that to use? So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? It's happened. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? And most importantly, what is going to happen if I don't do anything about it? So these questions, the answers were pretty freaky, especially the last one. So that's when I decided this is the end. I am not going to waste my life. I am not going to sit around and cry and feel bad about my situation. And it's okay. It's okay to feel all of those things, but you gotta move. You gotta put in the work. You gotta do something about it. And I decided that 2023 is going to be the last year. Like, I'm sure this year I'm going to face trouble. Like, I'm going to face difficult times, maybe things are going to catch me off guard, and years to come, like, that is just life. Like, life is unfair, and life is, it just happens, and we all are aware of that. But never put yourself in a situation where you feel helpless and inadequate, at least to help your own self, right? It's baffling. And I couldn't, it was almost the first time that I was experiencing that, and I couldn't stand the thought of it. So I was super desperate to do something about it and change my situation. And I think it all just came in the right time, but sure. Now, you may ask, yeah, acceptance sounds easy, it's great, but why isn't everybody doing it, right? First of all, it's not easy. It is not something you just wake up and say, yeah, I f***ed up. Because when you do, it is not soft on your ego, on your pride, on your self-esteem. And there's this fear of repetition, and you just begin to resent again. And it's going to already add to the pile of worries and baggage and low vibe that you've already been carrying. So acceptance, as much as, yeah, of course it sounds easy and stuff, but we don't really do it. It's not something that you find everybody doing it, because it's not easy. And why is it not easy? It's just not easy to the brain. It's not easy on the brain. But believe me, that is the difficult part. Because once you're through that, it's like, what's next? Okay, now I know the problem. Let me just go find the solution. Or better yet, create a solution. And it is truly liberating. And I think that's what I push myself to do. Number 2, removing fear and doubt. Now, let me make this very clear. We're all scared of something, right? And it is so second nature to us at this point that it almost feels impossible. But believe me, if you really sit with yourself and just take a look at the things that you've been scared of, it's more often than not even something that you're really scared of. You're conditioned to believe that that's a scary place, like don't go there, right? And I guess that's what happened to me. So I sat down and I made a list of all the things that were basically holding me back. Any kind of doubts, fear, and where did it all come from? Experience, sure. I'm a theater artist, so there are a lot of auditions that I've gone to, and I would be so scared, like, to perform, and rejections also play a very important role. You think that you suck, one rejection, and I used to be like, oh, whatever, I suck. And it's natural, right? Could happen to all of us. For me as an artist, it's a rejection. For you, if you're in a 9 to 5, you're probably going to screw up in that meeting that you probably don't care about, or do care about. You've put in everything you got in that meeting and something didn't go right. So it happens to all of us. So it comes from this place of conditioning. Like, you're made to believe that, yes, you're not worth it, you're not deserving. And sometimes it's just so sad that it starts at home. If you were to go ask a small child, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? Like, what do you want to become? The kid is almost going to tell you things that are world breaking and something so aspirational, like going to the moon. And then as the kid grows, the kid is conditioned to believe that there's something called reality. This is a big goal, this is a small goal, the work is big, it's practically not going to work out. Like, you're conditioned to believe into all of these things. As an adult, the kid's going to be like, yeah, I am okay just being a millionaire, I will just be an investor. I'm not saying that's an easy job, but I'm trying to point out the deviation. So what I do is, okay, if I want to work with a brand, I'd be like, oh, but this is too big. Like, this is a very big dream, and I'm gonna And on the other hand, if it's a small, artist or a smaller brand, I'd be like, yeah, but this is easy, right? But the one thing about the universe is it knows of no size. It doesn't matter, right? God, universe, they don't really care about the size of your dream. They don't really care about, oh, what big, subscribership or followership do they have, like, on Instagram. None of that really matters to the universe. Like, we are the one who defines our goals, like gives it weightage and says, oh yeah, this is big, this is achievable, this is small, this is like super easy, but this is really big, and it's not too good for me, but I'm gonna try. No, that is such an unhealthy and a toxic mindset, especially in your journey of manifestation and self-love. Gotta go. So this was the number one thing that this list revealed. And the second thing was, I truly understood the gap, or should I say gaps, between my being and my becoming. And that is basically the source of unhappiness in my life, be it the rock bottom or failed relationships or just unhappy for no reason, like glum. The reason for those, the source of that unhappiness in my life was this gap or gaps that were like there between my being currently, the person that I am right now, and my becoming, which is the person I want to be. And when I saw that list, I instantly knew that gotta go, and we're gonna make it happen. Number 3, create a blueprint. I created a blueprint. Now, let me remind you, a blueprint is only going to, I wouldn't say work, but you'd only be able to create a blueprint in the first place if you know your worth and if you remove fear and doubt. So this is, I kind of put it in an order. This is not one of those, let me just create a plan first and then, nah. You have to subconsciously believe that, yes, I am not scared of this, I am worthy of this, I don't doubt my abilities, and that's when you'll be crystal clear in what you want. You can design a plan of action to manifest. Now we have questions. Okay, I'll make a plan of action, so how am I going to set it in motion, or how is it going to work? How do I know that it's solid? I would say I came up with these 4 things to help me know for sure that this is going to work. And also, it truly made me understand and believe that, yes, this is going to work. 4 things, just 4 things. So number 1, I would say, go blind. I went blind. Now, what does being blind mean? Well, I did not let my current situation dictate my future. For example, you may want to be a social media influencer. You may want to be an Instagram influencer with 1 million followers. That is your dream. And right now you have 100 followers, right? If you're going to say, well, yeah, I mean, I have 100 followers now. How am I going to make it to No. You need to go blind. You should not be seeing your 100 followers. Every time you look at your page, you are going to see 1 million, even if it is not there. Like, don't let current materialistic evidence fool you into thinking, yeah, my future is also going to be the same. It's practically not possible. Realistically speaking, you need to really shut off from what your current situation is right now. For example, even when I came back home, it wasn't really great. The financial trouble was still there. And I would say, to a certain extent, as I'm talking to you guys right now, it still is there. But how am I able to make a video and talk to you guys about how to create your reality? Well, I did not let my current situation dictate my future. I don't let it dictate my goals. The other day, my friend called me and she said, hey, there's a sale going on. I'm going to buy some makeup and do you want me to get you some? We can go shopping or let me know if you want some. And I did not want to spend on makeup because A, I do have a lot of makeup already, and B, I really, I really want to be spending mindfully. I'm really monitoring my finances. But instead of telling my friend that, hey, yeah, I don't want to because I don't have money, or I'm like being a little more stringent, like stricter with my expenses and my, stuff like that, I told her, millionaires, they don't spend, they invest. So yeah, I don't believe in spending, so I'm not going to buy makeup. I'm not going to spend my money on makeup. And it was funny. It was definitely funny when I was talking to her about it. But that is what is, that is truly what I believe about myself. Today I may not have money, or today I may not have enough money to afford whatever I want, and I may want to save up and kind of put it to something else that's more important. But there is going to come a time where I'm going to have all the resources, but I'm not going to want to do it, because that's the mentality shift. So you need to go blind. Do not let your current situation define your future. And this takes me back to a quote that I read years ago. It really spoke to me, but it wasn't as effective as it is now. It goes like, no matter what your current situation is, if you can imagine something better for yourself, you can create it. And I am the living testament of that. I truly believe in that. And yeah, go blind, shut off, close your eyes. Okay, number 2, once you're blind, you're going to become more confident. Your vision, the vision inside of you that only you see, is going to grow day by day, and it's going to make you a lot more confident. Your trust in yourself and the universe is going to grow. And now is the time you embrace your delusion. Like, you need to learn to be delulu. It is going to sound insane to a lot of people. Your partner maybe, could laugh at you. Your parents, your siblings, your best friends, could be anybody. They are not going to understand. And guess what, sister? You don't need another person to understand that for you, because sometimes you need to invest and you need to pour in everything that you have. You need to risk it all for a dream that only you see. And there's no point in making somebody else see, because somebody who's laughing at you today or who does not believe in you today is going to go like, of course I knew she'd make it. Of course I knew he'd make it. Of course he has that in him. I believed in her. Well, people do that. And you know what? Let's not get personal here. Like, it's okay. It's okay for them to do that, because why should they anyway believe us? They're not the universe, they're not divine, like they're not God. Why are we expecting this person to believe in us? And I know it sounds ridiculous, like you do need that support system, but are you really telling me you don't have one person in your life that truly believes you? And if you're going to say, yes, I don't, well, you got me now. I truly believe that you can do it. You got this, you are doing it. The fact that, the brain has over 60,000 thoughts every single day on an average. And the fact that this vision of yours is like cultivated there, consistent in your head, and you wanting to do it, you've kind of done half the job already. So I believe in you. You got it and you're going for it. But you really don't have to worry about anybody who doesn't believe in you. And if people think you're delulu, you're delusional, you're funny, it's okay. What are you going to gain? This is the part. And if you want to get strong in this part, you have to master removing fear and doubt. Because there are people in your life that will constantly, they're not going to say anything, but just their existence will kind of make you doubt yourself, right? So you have to work on it. You are not going to control another person's actions. You are not going to control somebody else's intent. No, that's not your job, and you practically cannot do it. But the one thing that you can do is remove yourself from the equation and rewire your brain, because you're in control of that, and you can work on yourself and you can make it happen for yourself. So screw people who are laughing at you because you're deluded or you're delusional. It doesn't matter. They're the ones who are going to tell you when you make it, I'm so proud of you. They're gonna DM you, they're gonna come and give you a pat on the back and say, I believed in you. But you know what? The truth is, you believed in yourself, and that's all that matters. Number 3, putting in the work. Putting in the work, like working for your goal, is the highest form of self-love. It's not your fancy 10-step Korean skincare routine, baby girl. Putting in the work, like knowing what you want and going for it, not taking no for an answer, making it happen, not going in search of opportunities but creating them, is the highest form of self-love there ever is. Because everybody has it difficult. Everybody is, they're dealing with something, they're battling with something on the inside. But that's not going to be your excuse. That could be an explanation, but it's not going to be your excuse. So putting in the work is so important. And the one thing that I've noticed, like for me, my goals are more attainable when I have a very strong emotional reason for it. Like if you want to, let's say you want to lose weight, right? Or put on weight, like whatever. It could be a fitness goal, right? If you really don't want to do it, but you're doing it because you saw it on Instagram and that's what the world is accepting of, or your partner wants you to, or your parents want you to, you're never going to make it. I'm so sorry, but you're never going to make it because you don't have a strong emotional connection or a value behind that goal. But if your reasoning for losing that weight is, I want to get into a particular community to fit in, I want to look good, could be for you, could be for your partner, could be for anyone, but you making your mind up, you wanting to do it, that's going to make a huge difference. So the more stronger your emotional connection or value is to your goal, the easier it is to attain that goal. And that's the one thing that I've learned. But here's the thing. So now you're wanting to put in the work, you've started, but you fail. Well, good news. I did too. I have no idea. I think I lost count at this point. I have started so many times. It could be fitness, could be wanting to like just film something, I've failed so many times. In fact, this is the 3rd channel that I created on YouTube. Not because it didn't work out, because I was lazy, giving myself excuses, procrastinating. And the biggest reason I would say is, the crux of laziness, the foundation of laziness and procrastination all comes from fear, right? You're not sure if you'd make it. You're not sure if you'd like succeed. So I kept giving myself these excuses, and it was all from fear and doubt. And it is so beautiful the way it creeps in on you and affects different areas of your life. Insane. Now, I failed so many times, but did I not start again? Of course I did. And after I made my mind up, after reading the manifest in 2023, now it's 2024, January 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, I took on this new challenge. It's called the 75-day hard. And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do it. And even if I don't, I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna never stop trying. And guess what? Today is day 52, 53. But how did I stay consistent? Well, the one thing that I learned was never let your mood dictate your actions. It's as simple as that. You just have to show up, especially on the days that you don't feel like it. And I know I sound ridiculous. You're like, but I don't feel like it. My body needs it. No. Of course, you need to rest. You can pamper yourself. All of that is there. Self-care is amazing, but are you sure, or are you giving yourself an excuse? Especially on the days, like, it's really not easy. I'm an early riser, so I wake up at like 4 a.m. I wake up at 3:55 a.m. And the one thing that is so difficult to do is to just get out of bed, to snooze the alarm, and you're so tempted to go back and sleep. And it's a pretty cold city where I live, and it's so cozy in the mornings, and but I'm like, no, today is the day I will push. But to be fair, I have missed a couple of days because I was really sleepy, really tired. I think that's why there's like a gap. Like I think I'm supposed to be on day 57 or something now, but I'm on like 52 because I missed a couple of days. But nevertheless, I still made it because I did not let my mood dictate my actions. Especially when I know that, okay, today is not a great day, I'm not feeling it, I'm like, yeah, today is the day I'm gonna go. And my principle is really simple. When you don't feel like it, just go out for 10 minutes. Like, just wake up, sit or stand or do your normal thing for 10 minutes. And after that, if you feel like, yeah, it's not my day, you can go back to bed. But chances are, you're not going to feel like that, because that's what happened to me. I would like get up and just give it 10 minutes and I'm like, yeah, screw it, I'm already up, let me just go put on those clothes and go to bed. I mean, sorry, go to bed, go to the gym is what I meant. But yeah, don't let your mood dictate your actions. Now, what has happened because of this? Well, I went blind, I embraced my delulu, and I'm not letting my mood dictate my actions, which is practicing self-love. That's putting in the work. Now, what's happened? Well, now I feel confident. And why or how? Well, it's because I've stayed consistent and I've stayed disciplined. And the byproduct of these two things are results. I see results. I've seen results and I'm seeing results. And when you see results a little bit, you get addicted to it. And also there's this sudden hope or trust, or I don't know, call it whatever. You feel like every day you're getting a step closer to your dream. And that's exactly what I feel. So yeah, don't let your mood dictate your actions, because putting in the work, not being lazy, pushing yourself without waiting for no motivation is the purest form of self-love that you can bless yourself with. Now, the last thing under creating a blueprint. So now you have this plan of action. Now you've gone blind. You don't let your current circumstances define your future. Now you're like, okay, I'm Delulu. I know what I want and I'm going to get it. Now you're putting in all the work. The last thing left to do is behaving like your higher self. Now, what is this? Let's go back to the Instagram example that I gave you. So if your dream is to be an Instagram influencer who has like 1 million or 2 followers, like let's say millions for now, and you currently have 100 followers, right? Or let's say 200 followers. And if you're going to say, yeah, I will wait for the following to increase, the likes to come in, and and the engagement, and I will wait for for everything to get better, and then I will start acting like an influencer, then I will no, you do it now. Part of being delusional is this: you need to be in so much delusion that you start acting like it now. How is a person who has 1 million followers on Instagram going to act? They're going to probably post every day. They're going to come on stories and probably spam, talk a lot, interact, create reels. Like, they're going to have a routine. They're going to take care of their skin because it's always on, camera. So many things. I really don't know how the world of Instagram works, but for sure, like, you need to start acting like your higher self. Like, there is no alternative to that. For example, I dream to become an actor, and my higher self will be this gorgeous woman inside out, prioritizing mental health, sharpening her craft, working on her body, mindfully eating, sleeping well. Like, these are the things that I would do, right? Managing my finances, which is so important. These are the things that I would do, time management. And these are the things that I'm working on right now because I am delusional. I believe that this is going to happen. And when it does, I will already have the skill for it. And that's exactly what you need to do. You need to start acting like your higher self. You are not going to get anywhere by saying, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow when this comes, when that comes. And how do I know that? That's me. The amount of times, I would say in the last 3 years, I've gone to stores, picked up the gym bag, the gym gear, the clothes, all of that, but I've not really hit the gym. I've just been like, yeah. When the weather is good, I'll go. When this is good, no. No more excuses. You want it now, you make it happen now. Like, there is no alternative to this. There's a reason why Marcus Aurelius, or even Epictetus for that matter, like from the Stoics, have a very powerful way of saying this. Today could have been useful, but sister, you chose tomorrow. And you don't even know if tomorrow is going to come. So fools are usually getting ready to begin, but the ones who make it are the ones who start now. So start now. Like, act as your higher self and manifest, set it in motion, manifest your dream now. Like today, after you watch this video or while you're watching this video, begin. You have no excuse. You have no. The weather is good enough. You are good enough. You look fine. Like, go for it right now. And I know it doesn't make sense at the moment, right? It really doesn't make sense. But the brain has a lot of flaws, but if there is one flaw that you can use in your favor, it's the flaw that the brain does not really know to differentiate between imagination and reality. So you imagine, act like it, and it will become your reality. And when you're doing all of these things, you're basically now not letting your current situation define your future goals. You're now, you're in your delusional, so full of yourself. Like, you're delusional, you're so full of yourself, you're in a high vibe, you're putting in the work, and you're now your higher self. You're acting, you're living your dream. What is the universe going to do? The universe is not going to have much of a choice. The universe or God is going to be like, yeah, fine, just take it. That's exactly how it works. I mean, look at all the people who've made it. Like, when I watch them talk, like their interviews or their stories, the one thing that they always say is, I don't know. I was working for it. For that one day of opening, I put in 365 days of effort. Every day I was working, and suddenly this happened. Oh, it was magical. Was it? Feels like magic, but it's absolutely logical, because you work for it, you believe you're deserving and you're worthy of it. The universe has no other choice but to give it to you. So, create your blueprint today, girl. Number 4. So the next thing we're going to talk about is such a powerful thing. Like, you want to be creating your reality. This is one of the things that you have to take very seriously. And that is cutting toxic stimulation. Any kind of toxic or negative stimulation, gotta go. You need to cut it out of your life. Movies, music, series, friends, people in general, apps, could be anything. Any form of negative stimulation for your brain, no, it gotta go. Because you're in this vibe, you're basically creating this using your brain. You're in this imaginary world, creating this thing for you that's going to manifest into reality. And if you're going to go on this app and look at another person and compare your life and feel, yeah, you're not gonna really feel good about it. Like, you're gonna instantly go on a low vibe, and high vibe, low vibe. Like, it's the opposite. Like, it's not the opposite ends of a same spectrum. It's, the exact bang on opposite, and they don't go well together. You want to be in a high vibe, you need to practice. It's a lifestyle. You need to practice it day in and day out, consciously rewiring your brain, overriding thoughts. But if you're going to go on an app and see someone and like compare your life and think, oh my god, I'm so ugly, or oh my god, this person got it all, like they got everything figured, oh my god, this person's very rich. And how do I know that? Because I do the same thing. There are some brands that I really would want to work with, and then when I see other models be a part of it, I would feel so bad, and I would start judging myself. Like, there's no hate on another person, but there's hate like inward. I'm like, yeah, I'm not good enough, yeah, I'm not worthy. No, 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 that's not going to work. You have to be in a high vibe. So cut the negative stimulation out. If Instagram is making you feel crappy, cut it out. And I know it sounds a little too extreme, right? But block, restrict. Like, you can go on YouTube and TikTok and all of that and kind of click on not interested. You use the algorithm, you manipulate the algorithm to your favor, make it work for you. There is a reason why we hear, or why a lot of successful people say, we are what we consume. And it's not just food, right? Like, I mean, even food, think about it. You can't be eating hamburger and pizza every single day and wonder why you're not ribbed and chiseled and why you don't got the abs. No, no, no. That's exactly what, like, if it is so evident on your physical body, think about your mind, your mental health. So anything that doesn't serve you right, that doesn't serve your brain right, that doesn't serve your manifesting journey right, it's gotta go. That's a non-negotiable in my opinion. Once you are cutting all the toxic negative stimulation out, like you're not entertaining anything, you will become so busy. Like, you will get so busy, you won't have the time for pretty much anything else. You would be working on yourself. You would be working on those things that finally you mustered the strength to do, right? You would be working on yourself. You'd be working on things that you actually like. You're not going to have time to bitch, to gossip, to you know, be jealous and envious of others. No, you're not going to have the time to do all of this because you're busy. You're really busy. And as Roxy Nafusi says, if there is one thing in this world that you have to put a ban on, is bitching. Because it is so toxic. It's the enemy to your manifestation process. It kills your vibe, and the universe is so disappointed in you when you talk about other energies that doesn't serve you. Basically, it's not going to do good to you. It's not going to do good to them. What's the point? And how do you stop yourself from doing this? An idle mind is a devil's workshop. So keep yourself busy. How can you keep yourself busy? Well, do the things that you've always wanted to do, but you didn't because you were conditioned to believe that you're not worthy of it. Pick those things up. Work on yourself. Work on your body. Look good for you. Create your reality. You've got the brain. You have the time and the brain to watch this video. You have the time to create your reality. And this is exactly how I changed my life. A couple of years ago, you know, I've always heard my friends talk about this. They would always be like, I'm usually the funny one. At least I'd like to think so. And my friends would always say things like, hey, put this on the internet, like make a reel or start YouTube. And I'd be like, ugh, cringe. And for a sec, like in 2023, when I realized that this was my problem, like, you know, I'm looking at these lists and I'm like, what the heck? Like, what's going on? I want to do something, but I'm not because I'm scared. Why? It's not dangerous. I'm just scared of another person's opinion. So what if you're cringe to someone else? Your fear of being cringe is what is holding you back. You're one decision away from changing your life and never looking back. And I was so busy on working on myself, so I basically eliminated fear and doubt. And how do you tell the universe you eliminated fear and doubt? Not just by thinking and telling the universe, I don't fear anything. You act on it. So I told myself, being authentic is not just speaking the truth and telling people whatever you want to on their face. No, because that's what I thought it was for a long time. But being authentic is being true to yourself and practicing what you preach to a certain extent. So I told the universe, yes, I'm not going to be scared of judgment. I am not going to let the fear of judgment dictate my behavior. So what were the things that I wanted to do but I didn't because of this? I made a list. And Jan 10th, I launched my podcast. Um, and then I started this YouTube channel. And then I started my newsletter, all in just 2 months. And I have so much more to accomplish this year. And this is what happens. And now I'm confident because my validation does not come from an external resource. It does not come from the outside. It comes from within. It comes from me because I am authentic. And it's okay if someone doesn't like it, they think I'm cringe, they think I'm ugly. Who cares? Your dreams do not depend on another person's opinion. And you know what? I was talking to a friend recently. So I had this work meeting and I was very unhappy with the meeting because this person I met was really rude to me, and he was like, yeah, you got a real job, right? Because you're not going to make it as a model and all of that. And I'm like, huh? And I walked out of that meeting really frustrated because I was so annoyed by his behavior, but I never believed what he said about me. I never did. And yes, it did get to me like a teeny tiny bit because no matter how confident and strong you think you are, when there's so much negativity on the outside, like it just affects you. But I knew that I was being affected and I wanted to talk to a friend about it. So I called my friend and I was like, can you believe it? This is what happened. And I'm just disappointed. And then he was trying to convince me and say, yeah, don't worry, it's gonna work out. Like, don't take this person seriously. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about and da 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 da. And I told this guy, well, yeah, I'm sure. Like, I don't even care. Like, I didn't dream. My dreams don't depend on him. And I'm not going to stop working on it because this person suddenly has an opinion. And that's when it hit me. Like, that was such a powerful line. Your dreams do not depend on anybody, not even your parents, not even your partner. Like, the fact that you had the audacity and the tenaciousness and the strength to dream and to believe that, yes, that is something you can sort of achieve. That's more than enough. Now, all you have to do is remove the word sort of and get going, like completely believe in yourself. And not gonna lie, guys, these 2 months, they haven't been all flowery and rosy. No. There were things that caught me off guard. There were, close calls. But today, my life is filled with abundance. And I'm so grateful for it because just a couple of months ago, like half a year ago, I couldn't afford food. I couldn't afford groceries. I couldn't do anything. I was depressed. I was giving up. I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I was looking for jobs that I didn't want to be a part of. And today, I'm so grateful for everything that I have in my life. And last but not the least, this is going to sound cliche, but wait for it. Trust the universe. Guys, I cannot throw enough emphasis on this. You need to trust that the universe got you, girl. Like, has your back, girl. Like, there's no way God or universe or whatever is going to let you down after so much. No. You gotta trust in the universe. Now, what is trust really? How do I know that I trust the universe? Well, that gut feeling or unwavering faith, sudden assuredness? Hold on to that feeling. Cling onto it. Because that is your biggest superpower. Think of it like this, right? So you go into your favorite restaurant and you place an order. And now you're just waiting. The waiter has told you, yes, it's going to take about 10 or 20 minutes. And you're just waiting. Would you just sit there and just do your thing until the food comes? Or will you walk to the kitchen every 5 minutes? It just doesn't make sense to you, right? First of all, why would you ever do that, right? And secondly, let's not forget, you have already done the job. You made your mind up to go to a restaurant and you got ready and you went there and you made your mind up again, like you acted on it. You picked what you wanted to eat from the menu and you place the order and you got a confirmation that the food is coming. Now, why would you go check? Because you don't believe that the restaurant is actually making your order. And that's exactly what happens if you're impatient and if you don't trust in the universe. Literally, chances are you get kicked out of the restaurant for behaving stupidly, but the universe is not going to kick you out, but it's just going to delay your manifestation process. And we do not want that, right? So you need to put in unwavering faith. Think of it like this. You're going to a restaurant and you're placing an order and you know for a fact the food is going to come. So you ask what you want, right? You asked for it. You put the work for it. You're putting the work for it. Now, all you got to do is just believe. Believe and trust that the universe is working for you and by you and not against you. So the trick here is to wait, but not wait desperately, right? Don't be desperate. It's gonna come. Your food's being prepared. It's gonna come and you're going to enjoy your meal. It's gonna be worth it. So we've heard the really famous quote, I don't chase, I attract. Well, I like to tweak it just a little bit. I don't worry, I attract. So don't be worried if it's gonna happen or not. Oh my God, will I make it? Will I earn so much? Will I, attract that particular person? Don't worry, you got it. You're putting in the work for it. You believe in yourself. And more importantly, you believe you're worthy of it. And the universe is going to give it to you. Please remember that you can only connect the dots when you look back. And that's exactly what happened to me. So when I moved back home, I told you, right? I felt like a failure. I was like, what the heck? Like, why? And today, I am so happy that I didn't find another apartment. I'm so happy that I moved in the right time, because everything good that's happening in my life is because I moved. I could connect the dots when I look back now. So just give it some time. You can only connect the dots when you look back. And that's it, you guys. Those are the 5 things that I did to strategically end my rocky 2023 and to have a successful 2024. Let's all remember that we all have, we all come from different experiences, different school of thought, different privilege and baggage, right? And the whole point in watching these videos, listening to podcasts, reading self-development books is to tailor make them to your needs, right? Because a lot of what I said, well, you could be like, oh my God, that is so true. Or you could literally be like, oh my God, whatever, so boring. But there'd be that one thing that spoke to you, right? So take what you want, take what you need, take what works for you, and feel free to drop the rest. Because end of the day, nobody who is talking about self-development, who has a passion for life nourishment or self-development is going to tell you, oh, this is what you got to do, right? It all comes from experiences we learn from one another. We're all here to walk each other home. So let's keep that in mind. For those of you all who are going to be thinking, yeah, it's a little too late to be talking about how to kickstart your new year. Well, 2 months doesn't define your year, let alone your life. So I truly believe that your best year is ahead of you and you are going to make it happen. Ooh, I have an activity before I let y'all go. So there was something, I think I saw this on Instagram or YouTube Shorts, I don't know, or maybe it was a podcast episode. I really don't remember, but I saw this in 2023. You basically pick a word, just one word that you deeply desire. For example, you may want a car, a house, comfortable living basically, right? And you can club all of that under the umbrella of riches, right? And then you may want a partner or a child, right? And that could be love. So whatever you want, club it under an umbrella and pick a word. It could be love, it could be money, it could be riches, gratitude, abundance, could be anything, right? The word I picked was abundance. So pick the word, okay? Don't overthink it. Take a post-it or a small piece of paper basically and write the word down and put it on your headboard or put it anywhere closest to you. Like as soon as you wake up, this got to be the first thing that you see, and right before you're going to close your eyes because you're so sleepy, you need to have access to this, right? And truly believe that you are worthy and deserving of this. It could be anything, right? Pick a word, write it down without overthinking it, put it on a paper, and right before you go to bed and right when you wake up, see the word, read the word, just look at the paper and truly believe that you're worthy of it. So that is your activity for today. And also, if you really enjoyed watching this video, chances are you're gonna love my podcast. It's called Half Baked. It's a self-development podcast on Spotify and Apple. And I also have a newsletter called Before Caffeine. It is available on Substack and it's a more unfiltered version of me. I basically dump my brain's thoughts before dawn on Sundays because I'm an early riser and it's pretty nice to read. I mean, if you're not an early riser, you don't have to wake up early to read them. But if you subscribe, you will get it in your email and it can chill in your inbox and you can read it whenever you want. So subscribe. Ooh, I'll see you soon.
I'm gonna tell you that I love you 100 times a day. Yeah.